Welcome to my YouTube channel, Maths with Ease. This is Mr. Kamotho. And I want us now to respond or understand example 10 of shape and space 10, whereby we are going to combine both the sine rule and the cosine rule in one question. And we are being told that a motorboat M, and you can see where M is, a motorboat M is 8 kilometers from a harbor H, this is harbor H, on a bearing of 125 degrees. The whole of this angle is 125 degrees. And while at the same time, a rowing boat R, this one, is 16 kilometers from the harbor on a bearing of 74 degrees. You can see R is 16 kilometers from the same harbor on a bearing of this angle now 74 degrees. Before we leave that particular point, this bigger angle is 125 and this smaller angle is 74. What is the angle that is between HR and HM? We are going to have 125 minus 74 degrees, and this angle now is going to be 51 degrees. Having said that, let us now go to the question. Find the distance and the bearing of a rowing boat from the motorboat. Find this distance, call it small h, because it is opposite vertex h, and the bearing of the rowing boat from the motorboat, from this motorboat, this M now. And as you can see, we are expecting now to find h and the bearing, that angle. From the true north to this line, that is the bearing of R from M. And as you would expect, that we have to find h, and to find h we have the opposite angle and we have the other two sides. So it becomes very easy to find h using the cosine rule. And we say now the h squared is equals to 16 squared plus 8 squared minus 2, 16 times 8 times the cosine of 51 degrees. And we just now have to, 16 squared is 256. So h squared is 256 plus 64 minus, let's talk about 2 times 16 times 8. Minus again 256 multiplied by the cosine of 51 degrees. So h squared is 256 plus 64, which is 320. This is 320 minus 256 times the cosine of 51 degrees. So what is the cosine of 51 degrees? 0.629 multiplied by 256, which is 161.1. So h squared is still 320 minus 161.1. And as it were, 320 minus answer, we continue to find 158.89. So h squared is 158.89. So basically what we are saying, after finding the square root on both sides, h is the root of 158.89, and we are here with our h, the root of answer being equals 12.6 kilometers. 12.6 kilometers. That is our value of h. So the distance of r from m, as it is asked from the question, the distance and the bearing of the rowing boat from the motorboat is 12.6 kilometers. That could be part A of the question. Part B is about now the bearing. And by the time we get to answer the question of bearing, we need to understand some fundamentals. And as you can see, this is the true north, and this is another true north, and they are parallel. And when they are parallel, this angle, which we can easily find, because the whole of this angle is 180, and up to here is 125, so 180 minus 125, this angle is 55 degrees. And because this angle is also in the alternate position, this angle is alternating to this, it is also 55 degrees. So if we can actually manage to find the value of the whole angle, then we can subtract 55 from what we will find, and we'll be left with our value of x degrees. And it becomes now an easier duty because we have 16 kilometers. We can calculate that angle, and now we have h, and we have the angle opposite. So we can easily now use the sine rule, and we can have the sine of the whole of angle m, the whole of this angle, the sine of angle m all over 16 is equals to the sine of 51 degrees all over h, which is 12.6 kilometers. And as you would expect, we are supposed to cross multiply and have the sine of angle m degrees is equals to 16 times the sine of 51 degrees, the sine of 51 degrees, and then divided by 12.6. That is true. And let's just have it here. 16 times the sine of 51 degrees, which is equals to 12.434. When we have this one divided by 12.6, then we get 0.987. 0.987. So the sine of m degrees is 0.987. So what is m? M now becomes the sine inverse. M now becomes the sine inverse of 0.987, which is now the sine inverse of that, and we can say shift sine answer, and we get 80.7 degrees. You see, m is 80.7 degrees. Let us have it there, 80.7 degrees. What we now need to do is to have the 80 to get x, which is the bearing of r from m. X is therefore 80.7 degrees minus 55 degrees, which is minus 55 degrees, which is 25.7 degrees. And that is what we are looking for, is equals to 25.7 degrees. So in a nutshell, the distance from M to R is 12.6 kilometers, and the bearing of R from M is the angle from the true north to the line that connects the two points, the angle between the true north and the that connect the true north and the line that connects the 2 points, and that angle is x, and it has been established to be 25.7 kilometers, and the distance is 25.7 degrees rather, and the distance is 12.6 kilometers. Thank you, and let us meet in the next video.